Yo, everybody, what's happening? Welcome to another episode of Creepy Old Crypt. We're back. It's been a while.
It has.
Yeah, we are a little bit out of date here, right? Because I think
busy.
We missed one last month.
Yep.
Right. Last month we were in Boston. We were doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a chance to do an episode, but we did this time. We got it. We nailed it. Well, I don't know if we nailed it. The episode's not done.
We haven't even started it.
Yeah, you'll have to. Trust me, we nailed it. But anyway, yeah. So we are back today. We're doing more than we're doubling up today. Mm-hmm. So we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. And the thing that we realized we hadn't talked about at all was Fantasyland here in Disneyland.
Yep.
In California. I go back and forth with Fantasyland because Fantasyland I think is definitely the most classic Disneyland, but I think it's also the most it's the one that's least concerned with like realism or whatever you want to say. Yeah. It's an area of the park that has the most volume of kind of like kiddie rides a little bit, you know. So sometimes I'll go through a phase of like, I don't need to go to Fantasyland. But then I'll go through a phase sometimes of like, no, that's like classic Disneyland. I want to go. I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, they're all dark rides. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Craziest ride here, I think, is like the teacups.
I was just going to say, is there a thrill ride in Fantasyland?
I guess Matterhorn has a side. It's a fantasy. They always consider it the Fantasyland side.
Matterhorn is Fantasyland, right? I mean, you consider it that?
Yeah. It's big enough that it encompasses two different lands.
Yeah.
So,
that's always been
up for debate.
Yeah, Tomorrowland and Fantasyland thing, but it's definitely, I would constitute it as, and that is a thrill ride, so that's okay. Yep. But anyway, so I go in waves of like enjoying Fantasyland, embracing it, and right now I'm in that phase where I've been like, oh yeah, I haven't been on the Casey Jr. train in a million years.
Yeah.
I want to go on that, Sometimes there's days where I'm just like, shit, don't need to go. Please, I'm an adult. And then other days I get the bug, and today was one of those days. Before you got here, I went on the train. That was when I was a kid. That was my favorite ride.
Really, the train?
The Casey Jr. train.
The Casey Jr. train.
Yeah, sorry, the Casey Jr. train. Because I think it was that exciting music, and it would go like just fast enough. There's of course the monorail in effect. I used to go on that too. When I went just as a kid, I think my family really enjoyed all the methods of transportation. Because I think the stuff we went on the most was like the train, the monorail, the people mover.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I never really went. As a kid, I went on the rides. I never went on the I didn't go on the monorail until I was much older.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah,
it was just a way to get places. I didn't care.
Yeah, I loved when you bring the monorail, when you ride it into Disneyland, it's really cool. Like it's like a scenic kind of tour of everything. And I think I really like that. I really like the people mover too because it was like another perspective in the rides. Yeah. So I really liked that. And I just kind of wanted it when I was a kid. I just kind of wanted to look at stuff. I was just really like, that's the whole reason I think I like Casey Jr. too, is you'd go through all the old models of, and I don't know, I really like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject here. But yeah, so Fantasyland, you like Fantasyland?
I love Fantasyland. Yeah.
But it kind of covers a lot of vague territory where it's like, there's also like Toontown down there. Is that part of Fantasyland? I guess that's its own thing, right?
Is like Small World part of Fantasyland?
Yeah, right? Definitely, yeah. I would think.
Yeah.
But it's so like far on the other end.
It's so far away from Fantasyland. That's the hard thing about it.
Yeah, it's kind of distant. So anyway, but primarily Fantasyland kind of starts at the castle.
Yeah, that's the entrance. The main entrance to Fantasyland.
Yeah. And the castle. Are you all in? Who has the best castle? Do you think is like the Disneyland Castle your favorite, or would you say
the classic one?
Yeah,
that's the first one I saw.
Sure,
it's the classic one. Yeah.
Do you think that's the best one?
Yeah.
Or do you think okay? I wasn't sure if there was like another part.
No, the other ones are just bigger.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I think Disneyland kind of has the like. It isn't intimidating. Like Disneyland has this charming little thing going for it that no other park has. So that's why I've always liked Disneyland's castle the most. But I do think it's cool that Paris had the dragon under it.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was dope. So that would be my number 2 pick, but Disneyland's is my favorite. The Disney World one is much bigger, but I don't really like it more.
No.
And Tokyo was the same thing. It was just whatever. Have you looked at the castle at Shanghai?
Nope, not. I haven't seen really much of Shanghai.
I can never decide if I like it or not. It's a lot like boxier than the other castles. Yeah, I can't decide if I like it or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you had an opinion on that. But anyway, so you kind of start there, and they play when you walk into that castle in the area like the tunnel, I guess you go through.
Yeah.
They've always played
When You Wish Upon a Star.
When You Wish Upon a Star. I think it's like always been playing in there or whatever.
Yeah.
You walk over the drawbridge, and I think they've only lifted that like 2 times.
It was the opening day, and when they reopened all of Fantasyland after the refurb in the 1980s.
Yeah, that's what it was. But isn't it like done over now to where they can like never do it?
I think it's permanently stuck down now.
Yeah, I think they quietly solidified that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, there's all so then you go through the castle and there's all the dark rides in there. Which is your out of all the old dark rides, like the old timey dark rides that they have in there? Which one is your favorite?
Toad. Mr. Toad's my favorite. That was my favorite when I was a kid. That's my favorite now.
Yeah, that was one for some reason I never really went on as a kid. I went on the other ones for some reason.
Was it like just the scary? Like no. Was it like the name of it? You thought it was gonna. You didn't know what to expect.
No, my family just didn't go on it. They just didn't care. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. I had nothing against going on it. We just never did for some reason. I remember going on Pinocchio and Snow White and stuff like that, but Mr. Toad we just never did. Yeah. So yeah, that was a treat. I think the first time I went on it, I was like 20 or 22 or something like that. And yeah, I loved it. It was like, okay, the fact that this is still here is awesome. It's so like hokey and old, and I love it. But my favorite, I think, of the Fantasyland dark rides, I think is Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I really like the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that one. I always liked it because, whatever, you'd go inside, it's like the classic Disney dark ride, whatever. But I really loved that it would go outside.
Yeah, it had like this whole like meandering outside area.
Yeah, that you'd go up top. Now they've changed it in recent years. It used to really feel like you were gonna fall off of it.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like there was almost like no edge to it.
There wasn't. There's absolutely no edge.
Yeah, you would go right up to the edge, and it was like, is this car gonna fall off the edge of the building or what? And now because of like safety regulations, they've expanded it so. That part is still cool, but it doesn't feel like you're going to fall and die.
No.
Which some people might like, but I like the feeling. I liked not knowing if I was going to fall and die. But anyway, I always liked that ride. I always thought it was cool. They enhanced it a few years ago with some projection kind of effects, but I thought they were all good.
Yeah.
I thought they looked
They were
pretty
decent.
good.
Everybody was scared because they were changing a bunch of stuff, but I thought it's all good.
Yeah, they just they didn't replace anything so much as they kind of put projection over existing stuff to kind of like wake it up.
Like enhance it. Make it more lively.
The roses are dripping red paint and the flowers are all kind of like looking around, and that was cool. The only thing they really got rid of was the Cheshire Cat's head.
Oh, at the end.
At the end of the ride, there was like a big like plastic Cheshire Cat head turning around. That scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Really?
I remember going in there and I think we got stuck or something.
Oh, so you just see this head going back
Yeah,
and forth.
and when I was a kid, I was just like, okay, tell me when this is over. I don't want to look. It was just this creepy head.
Yeah.
They got rid of that. I say good riddance.
It's just a bunch of teapots now.
Yeah, it's like a projection of these teapots. Which I guess a projection, that's the only time a projection in that ride replaced something.
Yeah.
So I guess whatever on that, but that head was creepy looking. I say adios.
It's supposed to be creepy. It's a Cheshire Cat.
Yeah. I don't know though, but I just wanted to fight him. I don't know. It just didn't give me good vibes. Posy vibes only, guys, please. But anyway, always really liked that ride. Mr. Toad, going back to Mr. Toad though, I feel like is the most old Fantasyland. In terms of like, it just feels relatively not updated. You know, it feels really extremely
They
not
haven't really
updated.
touched that ride very much.
I think they've like
Since the 80s.
repainted some characters, and then the 80s they added a little bit to it, but that's all I can think of. That is probably like the quickest of all of them, right?
I could say like quickest in terms of ride duration.
Yeah,
or
it's really like barely 2 minutes.
It's pretty quick.
But I've always really liked that. I was really fascinated by it when I was a kid because I remember hearing we didn't go to Disneyland a lot when I was younger.
Me neither. I went once every few years.
Yeah, exactly. I would say probably every 5 years maybe. And when I remember, we just never went on Mr. Toad. We always went on kind of the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And then I remember kids at school telling me, yeah, that ride's crazy because you go to hell.
Yep.
And I was like, that is not true. Why do people keep saying that? Like, there's no way. I didn't believe. You know, it was the same kid at school that would say like, oh, my uncle works at Nintendo, and he says Mario 4 is gonna have Chicken Mario. You know, it's like the same kid.
Yep.
So it's like, they would not have that in a Disneyland ride. And boy, when I was, like I said, 20-something, when I finally went on it, that was a rude awakening. I was like, that kid was right. I feel like I need to write Kurt a letter. I think that was his name, Kurt.
And Chicken Mario is going to be the next thing. So
Chicken Mario did
official.
happen.
Yeah.
At some point. Has there ever been a Chicken Mario? I don't think so.
No.
Has there ever been a flying chicken? There was a flying squirrel Mario, but not a chicken. Anyway. But yeah, so I finally went on that, and it was just like, whoa, okay, you really do go to hell. And I think they were saying, like, when they were designing that ride, it was like, you know, Toad is such a bad driver and commits so many crimes, they couldn't see any other way to end it.
That's what, guilty.
Yeah.
You die in that ride.
Yeah.
Like, you get hit by a train and then go to hell.
Yeah.
Like which is my favorite part of the ride, is getting hit by the train.
Yeah. That
because the effect's really cool.
Yeah, the effect is something. What is the effect?
The effect is basically the front of a train's coming at you, but it's in the dark, so it's basically you just look like you're getting hit by a train, and they actually make the car go over bumps. Like like you basically got onto the track accidentally. And you go, tuk, 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 tuk. Train's coming, things explode,
and then doesn't it just say boom on the wall?
Yeah,
like,
it has like boom and all these like different sayings, and there used to be a strobe light all over it, but when I was a kid, and they didn't have it for years. I think it's back now and lasts like a few years.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Yeah.
I should note. Sorry, this is lame, but I went the extra mile today and got the Toad socks.
Did you get this today, or did you wear them today?
I just wore them today. I got them. These just came out like a week ago,
really?
I think. So I just want to make sure the detail is, you know, appreciated.
Yeah.
I didn't go through all this work for nothing. You know, I wasn't just going to put on socks for no reason.
I just wore, the regular black socks.
See, well, that's after you go to hell.
Yeah.
There's nothing but darkness.
So I wear pants so nobody can see. I can't wear crazy socks because nobody will see them.
See, that's why you got to wear shorts all the time, every day.
No, my legs are fucked.
Now you see. Do you have fucked up legs?
No.
I didn't know. I don't know what your deal is.
No.
You know, I've never seen your legs.
You haven't?
Now this is weird.
No, we've been to the pool. We've been swimming.
Yeah, but I didn't look. Why didn't you point them out? Why didn't you go, hey, everyone, last chance?
No.
Take a look.
My legs are normal, but it's they're very,
I don't know.
Very untouched from the sun.
Now I'm questioning. You say they're normal. Now I have my suspicions. they're very hidden.
You're right. Secret.
You know, I make sure everyone knows I have normal limbs by wearing shorts every single day.
Yeah.
Even when it's 5 degrees in Scotland, and I'm getting made fun of by Scottish people. But that's another story. Anyway. What were we talking? Oh, Mr. Toad. So yeah, so that's a classic. Snow White, I actually don't. See, when I was a kid, I remember going on Pinocchio. I think I did go on Snow White, but I didn't really remember much.
Yeah.
But I remember going on that again, or for the first time when I was 20-something. Mm-hmm. And I remember Sean telling me, he was like, "If you haven't been on this one in a long time, like." Go on it now. You're going to enjoy the end of this one so much. He's like, Rocco, I know you. Yeah. You're going to get a kick out of the ending. So you go on the Snow White ride. You ride the whole thing. They're like, at the very end, they're like, oh, look, it's the witch. and the witch gets hit by lightning. Who knows? There's a whole confrontation, and then you go through the door just as everything is getting crazy. You go through a door and it says they live happily ever after. Get off the ride.
You just hear like a scream and then it's done. Get off.
It is the most abrupt end to a ride I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And at first it bugged me, and then I realized, no, that's what makes this ride awesome. There's no other ride that in the thick of it just goes, all right, get off.
Other places have tried to put endings to that ride.
Yeah.
And I don't like it as much. I like how weird it is here.
I like how it's such a cut.
Yeah.
It's like when you're listening, it's like the Beatles, you're listening to She's So Heavy, and it just... Da-na-na. It's just like the track cuts.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just like, Snow White, isn't this crazy? You're out. You're done. You saw enough.
Get out.
Yeah, so there you go. It's like the record scratch. So, the one in Japan, I just remember She Kills You.
Oh.
Like she actually like hoists the rock on you.
And actually get, like, you die?
And I think that's how the Disney World one was. Before they ripped it up.
Yeah, you gotta do, like, I like that. I like do stuff unexpected. I don't want a happy ending.
Yeah, I like a bad ending.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for with Star Wars. Star Wars Land. I hope you die.
I bet you there'll be different scenarios.
Dude, the Millennium Falcon ride?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much I want to say because Kevin likes to go really unspoiled.
I go so unspoiled that I don't even look at stuff like in China. Like, I don't even look at
See, I do look at that.
Park.
You know, I walk a line. When it comes to Disneyland, when it comes to rides, you know, when it comes to, obviously, movies and games, stuff like that, I like to go totally spoiler-free, go cold. But with rides, I have to be careful because I don't know what I can go on. There's a lot of stuff that makes me sick. So I do look into them ahead of time.
Yeah.
If it's just a dark ride, like, hey, we're going to open a Little Mermaid ride, I don't need to look that up. Yeah. I know it's not going to be like a turbulent roller coaster. But like the Star Wars stuff, I think I have to kind of look into. But one of the things that I heard, well, you know, the Millennium Falcon ride, you can kind of win or lose it.
Yeah.
Do good or do bad if you're a good pilot. So anyway. There's a lot of details I heard about it, which are really cool, but I'm going to leave that off the table. Some people might not want to know it, and it's stuff that I think would be really cool to see when it's there. So anyway, which that's next month. Yep. That's going to be open.
A few weeks, and it's going to be open.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
That's actually unbelievable. So we'll see. Maybe no. Next time we do this, probably we won't have been there. But the one after that, we'll probably have been in there.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think about.
Drinking that blue milk.
Drinking that blue milk. Wait, we never talked about that on here. Let's get into it here. Who were you with? What side of the blue milk debate? They're going to sell the blue milk.
They're going to sell blue milk at the store.
The classic blue milk that you saw in the first Star Wars movie, Aunt Beru, she's pouring like this blue milk stuff. Okay, and the debate is, I always thought that stuff looks nasty. That blue milk does not look good. Well, we found out that in Star Wars Land, it's going to be like it's going to be like a kind of a melon, like fruity drink.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be fruity, nice dessert. It looks gross, and what I was thinking was, this blue milk, it should be nasty. It should be like sour, like, it's almost like Beverly at Epcot. It's like something you drink and it's gross and you like dare your friends to try it. Where it's kind of a fun thing to like, oh God, all right, yeah, you next. Like it should be like gross, stinky milk.
Why would they sell something that nobody's ever going to try again?
But that's what's fun is you do get it again. It's like a fun.
No, you won't
activity.
Get it again. You'll tell other people to get it, and then they'll never try it again.
Well, no, it's like
and Beverly's free at Epcot.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's easy to go. Hey, try it out.
You pay a lot to get into Epcot. Okay, nothing's really free. But where do you stand on the debate? Should the milk suck or should it be a tasty melon treat?
It should taste delicious so that I can actually enjoy the drink.
Nah. I just don't. Let's agree on something.
Okay.
It at least shouldn't be fruity.
It should. Yeah, I get to go either way.
Why is it fruity?
It should be chocolatey.
Blue chocolate milk.
Yeah.
See, you know what? I can find common ground.
Like
with that.
Strawberry milk is good. Strawberry milk is good. There's always chocolate and strawberry milk. Strawberry milk's really good. Make it like that. Make it blueberry milk.
If it tasted like chocolate milk, but it was just blue, I'd be down with that. I just don't. Fruity to me is like we didn't even try. You know what I mean? We didn't even try to do any kind of like weird milk thing. We just went like, here's a fruity drink. Like, I'm just saying. saying.
Plus, it's also, on the record, it's not even milk. It is, what, soy milk or rice milk?
Rice milk.
Rice milk.
Which I actually don't mind.
No.
To me, as long as it's some form of milk thing, no matter what, at least it's an attempt, because some people were saying it was a slushy, and I don't agree with that.
No.
It should not be a slushy. But okay, it being rice milk, everyone can have it, even if you're vegan, you can,
Yeah.
I don't know, that was just my thought. But it should stink and taste bad.
It should taste delicious.
Put it in the comments. What side are you on? Team stinky or team tasty?
Ooh.
Anyway,
back to the Fantasyland.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about Fantasyland this week? I hope so. Anyway, what was so the Snow White ride. So anyway, I've always liked it for what it is. Now the Pinocchio ride. See, I always thought for most of my life that was like an original. Like most of Fantasyland is like, ooh, original 1955 ride and here. And
I will say something like we should talk about the 80s when the big thing like they gutted most of Fantasyland in the 80s. Like most of the rides are rebuilt.
Yeah, they rebuilt it. I mean, a lot of it is. I mean, it's all like where it was. It wasn't like
the positions are where it was, but a lot of the stuff on the inside, not the ride housing itself. Yeah. Like they moved the carousel, they moved the teacups, they moved like all that stuff.
All that stuff moved.
But
the dark rides stayed where they were, but they would add little chunks to it that maybe weren't there before.
But there are scenes gone, and there are scenes added, and if you look at photos, a lot of those are empty. Like they didn't. Oh, let's leave the track and readjust. They just redid it. Yeah. They gutted all the stuff and rebuilt the dark ride.
Yeah. So. I can think of, we talked about Alice in Wonderland a second ago. That had like an upside down room in it, which I never knew until not that long ago. And now that was replaced by what? Now you go outside. Yeah. You always did. It would end, but it used to end there. And instead, now you go outside and then you go back inside for another scene. Yeah. I think that's what took the space.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some very aggressive ducks.
Yeah, flying off.
But anyway, so there's that. Mr. Toad, I think, added that little pavilion outside. Like there's a part where you go like outside the bar. I think that was added. In Peter Pan, it was the part where they're like on the ship and stuff. I think that was added. And then in Snow White, I believe what they added was the queen looking into the mirror and then turning around like that.
And Snow White.
Yeah, Snow White herself.
Snow White wasn't in the ride, and everybody's like, "Where's Snow White?" And so they added that in the 80s.
So that was kind of the big thing was Walt thought, when you're going on Fantasyland rides, you should be like you are that character. So like you are Peter Pan, you are Snow White. So he didn't want you to like see them when you're on it. Yeah. Like when you're on the ride, he didn't want it to be like, oh, Snow White's chilling over there. But that never like caught on. Like people would just go on the ride and go, where's Snow White?
Yeah, where is it?
So in the 80s they conceded and added those. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Pinocchio though. Pinocchio was entirely added during that time, the 80s. And that ride, I thought it was original, but it was made in the 80s. But I also didn't know until, like, seriously, the last couple of months that was like a Tokyo ride at the same time.
Oh, really?
I think they duplicated it. I'm pretty sure. I remember my parents had, when I was younger, my parents had a book that was like a photo book of Disneyland and whatever. And there was a photo of the guard in the middle of the Pinocchio ride like that. Like looking around. And I remember being really scared to go on it. Yeah. Because I was like, what does that guard do? Does he do something bad? Like, what would he do?
Yeah.
And then you go on the ride, and it's like, that dude's just chilling in the corner. Like, it's nothing. When I was younger, I was just like, what is he going to do? He's like pissed at you, I don't know what it was. But did you like that ride?
I liked that ride. I liked all of Fantasyland when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think it was my favorite land when I was a little kid.
It's really weird. It used to not be, like, my favorite. I really loved Tomorrowland. And now that's at the bottom. Now I'm like, all right, whatever. But Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, so Pinocchio, I did ultimately enjoy. I was scared of Monstro or whatever.
Oh, the big, yeah.
I was scared of lots of stuff when I was a kid. But anyway, we haven't talked about Peter Pan.
No, that's the big one. That's like the like considered like the best right there in terms of
it's
most popular.
Right? It seems like that's like the favorite.
Yeah.
And that was another one I never really went on when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't until I was in my 20s, I don't think, because I think, frankly, I just think my family never wanted to wait that long. I don't think they ever wanted to.
The wait for that is always half an hour. It never goes below half an hour.
Yeah, so I was surprised by that. I honestly, I rarely see it for half an hour.
Yeah.
Usually it's like an hour.
Yeah.
But that ride is like so definitively like classic Disneyland, right? I mean,
yeah, I could see that. Yeah. It is just like it's nothing's like that here. Like in terms of the ride system, and you're actually flying over stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, to me, it's like it's so definitively Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Like it's just with the singing, you could fly, and you're flying above. It's got the most of that Fantasyland magic. Mm-hmm. It's not my favorite of the dark rides personally, but it has just that Disneyland-esque old charm to it.
Yeah.
That, and there's no other ride where you can fly. You know what I mean? Like, so I think people like it. But is that what do you think of that ride?
Yeah, I love that ride, but again, I always went for Mr. Toad whenever I come here with my family.
Yeah. It just was the wait is too long for me to go on it regularly. But
I remember loving that ride. I remember like seeing all the cities really tiny, like all the traffic and everything below you.
Yeah. It really is pretty cool. There's a special kind of magic on that ride. I really do like it. But they still haven't added Fast Pass to it here.
They should.
Here at Disneyland.
There's not enough space. Where are they going to do it? Like,
yeah, I keep thinking there's a store next to it, and I keep thinking they're going to like bulldoze that out and put it there, but they haven't done it. But anyway, so there's that. I loved the Casey Jr. train when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. That's the one, like I said, I never went to the park a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I don't, a lot of people ask when I go now, it's like, are you just doing it because you got nostalgia from when you were a kid? I really don't have tons of nostalgia from when I was a kid, personally. It's when I was in my 20s that I really discovered the history.
Yeah.
But that's the one, Casey Jr. is the one thing I do have child nostalgia for. Like, that was one thing that I went on as a kid that was just, I was so overjoyed to go on that.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that when I go on it now, I'm like, oh, remember this? Wow.
See, I didn't think I rode that very much as a kid, but I do remember that. Like, I do remember going on it some, but not very often. It's complete opposite, like, situation.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Fantasyland.
It just went fast enough that it was kind of thrilling, and the music was so, like, pumped, like, yeah, let's go. It was, I don't know, I really, really dug it. And I like just looking at all the little, like I said, all the miniatures that it goes by and stuff. It's really cool.
It's funny, speaking about nostalgia, going off topic just slightly a little bit, that is, I think, the only thing that gets me into Toontown to look at it.
Oh, yeah?
Is nostalgia. None of it's good, but I went, like, right when it opened. I was, like, 7, I think, or 6.
Yeah.
It was, like, 92 or 91, and I went, and I still remember that. And so I remember looking at all the stuff, and that's the only thing that, if I ever go over there, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything now.
That's funny, because I was just thinking about that earlier, because somebody said the same thing. They were like, because they just announced the other day.
Yeah, they're adding a new ride to it.
Yeah, we're getting a brand new Mickey ride in Toontown. Mickey's, what is it, Cartoon Capers or something?
Yeah.
What is it, Runaway Railroad?
Yeah.
Runaway Rail, whatever.
I don't know.
Mickey on a train.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a perfect fit for that land. What a breath of fresh air and breath of life to that area of the park.
That area is dying. Like, all the stuff that like, slowly just, nothing's moving anymore. There's no trolley.
Yeah,
there's no,
it needs that. Yeah. It needs that. But I was just thinking, though, so somebody was telling me, it's like, I'm glad they're doing something, because the land still works, but maybe it's just nostalgia. And That is just outside my nostalgia bubble. Like that, I went for the first time. I was probably like in 6th grade, and I never loved Toontown. I was excited to check it out, but when I think we talked about this before. Like other lands in Disneyland felt really real to me.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I thought they were real, but you know what I mean. Like they all kind of had that texture to them. New Orleans Square and Frontierland and all that felt like living, breathing places, and Toontown felt like touristy. Like to me, it felt like here's a photo op here. Here's a photo.
Yeah.
I think I was just old enough that I enjoyed it when I went, but I wasn't like I gotta go back.
So I think what I was into as a kid is exploring, and that was all like you get to go in all these houses and look at stuff.
Yeah, I did like that.
Like open doors, and it's like everything broke. Everything broke at the glass shop and stuff. Same thing for like. Not the Mark Twain, I can't remember.
Columbia?
No, Tom Sawyer Island.
Oh, Tom Sawyer Island.
It was all just about exploring. That was it.
Yes. Yeah, and I do agree with that. I should say, I loved going through Mickey's house.
Yeah.
Like, the first time I did that, I was like, okay, like, that I liked, because there wasn't another kind of walkthrough like that, you know? So I agree, I did like that. But this is a great step for it. Like, this is going to be...
It's going to be awesome.
Why were we talking about Toontown in the first place?
Nostalgia.
Oh, nostalgia. Yeah, so, anyway. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. Well, over there... Oh, no. Before we go all the way over to that side.
Yeah.
Over there, because we're looking at it. What was your... I was about to say, what was your relationship with Dumbo? Kind of a weird question. But what... Yeah, were you...
I wasn't super stoked with it. Like,
Yeah.
Even as a kid, like, it was just going around. Like,
when I was a kid, again, I don't have the most memories of Disneyland as a kid, but I remember specifically not caring about Dumbo.
I've never been super into any of the, like, you just go around.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I wanted to do it once.
I want to see stuff.
Like, yeah, exactly. I like the dark rides, and I think I was eager to experience it once. When I first saw videos of the Dumbo thing going around, I was like, I want to go on Dumbo because it's like you're flying.
I think every kid has that feeling.
Yeah, it looks like you're flying.
Oh, I want to go ride Dumbo.
And then we did it, and I remember thinking, I don't need to do that again. Like, it was like, okay.
Yep.
I wasn't actually flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never did again until, I think, my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And then since then, maybe one time. I went one time.
I've probably been on, like, maybe 3 times in my life.
Yeah,
like,
I think so. I think total I've been 3 times.
Yep.
Yeah, I just never cared about that. Exactly. I wanted to explore stuff and go on dark rides. I didn't want to. Yeah. So anyway, I never cared about Dumbo. Now, Small World is right over here. We're looking at it. You can't see it. Picture it.
Google it. Look at the photo.
Google
the search.
Google Maps is your friend. Small World. Maybe you're going to make fun of me. Maybe you're going to talk some smack in the comments. In my top 3 favorite rides, period.
I can see that, yeah.
Does that rank anywhere with you?
In the top 3, I'm not sure. Because Indy, Pirates, and Haunted Mansion are my top 3. So
see, I'm going Pirates, Haunted Mansion. God, I love Indy, but I have to say, I
like Indy more than this.
I mean,
I love this.
Indiana Jones. If you're asking me, Indiana Jones, is it more fun? Yeah, it's probably more fun. But to me, Small World is so classic Disneyland. It's Disneyland. It's World's Fair. It means so much to me. I have to put that. I have to bump down Indiana Jones for that. But if I'm bringing friends to Disneyland, I want to take them on Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I hear you, but out of obligation, I have to. Anyway, Small World. But that's always been my Achilles heel. Are the Small World haters. Because you're always with people, there's always, in any given group, there's always someone going like, oh, come on, this ride.
The song, though, man.
Yeah.
The song's so annoying.
That's the other thing, is that's become like a meme, like a joke. Like, oh my God, that song, right? Oh my God.
It's just over and over again.
And it's like, I like that song. I like the music.
It's Sherman Brothers original. Like, it's
classic. So drop that whole gag sucks.
Yep.
Let's drop that. That's one of my favorite rides. Always has been. I couldn't say it when I was younger. You'd get like beat up if you said that was your favorite ride. Hey, now I dare you, beat me up. Go ahead. Don't. That was a joke. That was a gag. If you see me at San Diego Comic-Con, leave me alone. Thank you. Well, you can say hi, but don't beat me up. Anyway, classic ride, again, made for the World's Fair in the 60s.
And then brought over here, like Lincoln and stuff. And brought over here. Like, hey, we already built it, let's throw it in Disneyland.
Exactly. They've redone the ride at several parks. I think we have the best facade where we have this giant... the ride was kind of... A lot of the stuff in it was designed by Mary Blair, but then Raleigh Crump came in and, like, added did all kinds of stuff, too, here at Disneyland, and the facade here is incredible. The whole castle or looking thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's great. Walt Disney World is inside. It's like puny.
Yeah, it is. And it does the job, but it's not as good as ours. Now, where do you stand? Wait, what was it? Oh, okay. So they did something. Okay, so I love the ride, whatever.
Yeah.
And ours is the original, but they did something controversial. In 2008, they added Disney characters to it.
Which was a big deal.
It used to be just the children of the world.
Yep.
Celebrating, hand in hand, whatever. In 2008, they added Disney characters to it. Now, what side are you on? Do you think that was a big deal and they shouldn't have done it, or are you like they did a good job? It's not that big of a deal.
I don't mind it now, but if they didn't do it, I would be fine with that. I don't think every ride needs to have characters from movies.
I agree.
And I feel like that time's over. Every single thing is going to have characters from movies in it. From here on out. And everything's going to be like retrofitted with characters.
And it really is sad because these things don't need them. They stand on their own. It's a Small World is so iconic on its own that to me it shows a real lack of confidence in your thing that you have to add movie characters to it.
Kids aren't going to go to it unless there's Mickey Mouse in it.
To me it's like, Small World is Small World is iconic on its own. Why does it need some other character in it? That's how I feel. I am 100% against that they did it. I don't think they should have done it. I think the message of the ride is unity, is looking at the world together through children's eyes. Embracing the innocent nature of who we are as people and moving forward. It's a positive message. And to me, to add your characters to it is like you don't get the point of the ride. That's how I feel.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, I'm raging against the machine on this one. That was not a good move. However, credit where credit is due. I think the way they executed it was the best you could do.
They just made Mary Blair versions of everything.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, here's some random animatronic of Donald Duck. They all look like they could have been there in the 60s, right? Wouldn't you say?
Totally.
So I will say, if they had to do it, they did it the best they could. But anyway, so I don't think, I'm the kind of person, though, personally, that I don't think, like, adding something like that ruined the ride.
No. I don't think they should have, but...
I don't, I don't let one thing kind of spoil the whole thing. I'm bummed they added that, but it's just something that I ignore. I go like, don't like that. Okay, what's this other thing? It's just like when they added Johnny Depp to Pirates. I don't care for that, but I just go, whatever, and then I enjoy the rest of it. Because I know some people when they do stuff like that, it's like, well, that ride's
never going on that again.
Is there anything you could think of that when they tweaked it or they added something, it was ruined? Can you think of anything?
I'm trying to think of one thing. It's like, I never need to go on that again. I don't...
Like, wow, they ruined it.
I don't think there's a one.
See,
even Guardians of the Galaxy, I still enjoy going on. Like, that's
really?
not here, but like...
I didn't even think about that. Well, because I never went on that.
It's even, like, it's different, but it's still... It's actually more fun. Like, the energy's higher, but I miss the old, like, haunted hotel theme. But the ride is still good. Like...
You know what's funny? There was an interview with Tony Baxter. in case anyone out there doesn't know him, he was an Imagineering hotshot.
Huge Imagineering.
Hotshot until recently. He only recently stepped down. And they asked him about that. Like, what do you think about that? Because he's very candid.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think they improved it. And they were like, really? Because you know him. He's Mr. Preservation.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know, if you're asking my honest opinion, you have a better one in Florida.
I was just going to say, the original ones in Florida, it is so much better.
Yeah.
And this is an improvement just in terms of the fun of the ride.
The ride itself.
The ride itself.
Now, the theme I don't care.
No,
I don't care for.
No, I don't.
Twilight Zone is a better theme.
I don't care about Marvel stuff or anything like that. But the ride itself is better.
But he said, yeah, they improved it. He's like, you got a way better version in Florida, and he said, and over there it fits where they've done it and all that stuff. He said having that here in California and trying to tie it into Hollywood, like, he's like, why would they have that there? He said it just looks like a bombed out hotel. Why would they keep that around?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. He just kind of seemed like, he's like, I don't think it's really a big, you know, he's like, I think now it's kind of like having a Marvel thing, it fits in with the movie set nature of where it's at, and, you know, whatever. Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyway.
I don't think so.
Anything else that has been ruined?
Like, it's been ruined.
I'm curious if anybody out there has any thoughts on that. Is there something, like, it could be anything even if you think it's a movie or something, they changed something and they ruined it. But in terms of just rides, is there one that they changed it and then they went, wow, it's ruined? The only thing I can think of, and, you know, I'm thinking just in terms of Disneyland, I didn't grow up with Disney World, but just looking at the whole time span of it, the only thing I could think of is Journey into Imagination at Epcot.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it.
That ride was destroyed.
Yeah.
And
they tried to fix it, and it's never going to be the same.
I do enjoy going on it now, but almost out of like a sick enjoyment. You know what I mean?
Like the corpse of an old ride.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
I can't think of anything here, though.
Yeah, anything here?
Hopefully not Jurassic Park. That's opening up like in a month.
In Universal. Yeah. It's sounding pretty good. Introducing our new co-host. I don't see a parent anywhere. I guess we'll find out soon. Anyway. Yeah, we'll see about Jurassic Park. We'll find out. What else is being renovated right now? Nothing over here.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that was outright like, wow, they ruined that.
Yeah.
Other than that Epcot ride. So let us know in the comments. But anyway, yeah, so where were we? Oh, Small World. But yeah, I love Small World.
It's great. It's classic.
Yeah, I can't think of, you know, maybe someday that would justify its own episode, maybe.
I could see that.
It could. So maybe we don't need to go super in-depth about it. But I've always liked it. I do want to share, real quick though, well, you know, if I repeat myself in the inevitable Small World episode, then bear with me. But I did enjoy going on Small World once at game days. They loaded. I took a big group over there.
Yes, I remember hearing the story.
And you know, I try to ride with as many different people as possible. Got to the front of the line. You know, we were filling up like tons of boats. Like we had like at least 100 people just with me. I mean, everybody split up.
Everybody jammed that ride up.
Just with me, I had like 100 people. And I got into a boat, and they loaded it up full. And they were all guys about my size. And I'm talking whole body size, like about my size, filled that boat up. And then, all right, away we go. And then we go down the canal, and then, tunk, that boat just, chunk, it just tipped and stuck there. And it couldn't move. And then a Disney cast member, this woman walked up, and she was like, hey guys, we're having a little trouble with this boat. We're gonna get you a little extra pixie dust, and you know, this boat looks like it ran out of pixie dust. So we're gonna have a little extra magic on another boat. And then one of the guys in the boat went, hey, ma'am, we get it. We're huge. We get it. And then she went, well, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. And then took us off the boat and split us up.
Then put it in different boats.
I thought that was really funny. Yeah. Okay, yeah. She did not want to say we were big.
Yeah.
But we weighed way too much for that boat. I knew it as soon as we sat down. I'm like, this is going to go well. But anyway, Yeah, but great ride, classic ride.
Yeah.
I already mentioned Alice in Wonderland, kind of. We kind of talked about that.
Should we mention where we are?
Yeah, where are we?
We're basically, we're on the dock of an old ride that hasn't been here for, I don't know, since the 80s?
Yeah.
The 80s or something?
I think this dock has been here longer than that, I think.
Really?
Because there were the...
No, the ride ended like in the 80s.
Oh, it ended... Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this dock has been here for a while, but I think that ride that this was associated with hasn't been around since the 80s.
I think it was here longer.
Really?
This was a motorboat ride, right?
It was almost like Autopia, but with boats.
Yeah, with boats. I believe in the early 90s... Now, anyone out there, maybe if you know better, this is off the top of my head, so maybe I'm wrong. I think in the early 90s, they tweaked it to be a Disney afternoon thing.
I think I heard about that. I never saw it.
Where you would see, like, the gummy bears, and you would see, like, other characters as he rode the boat around, and then I think it closed.
Okay.
So I think it made it to the early 90s.
Last hurrah. Yeah, this was the loading dock. Basically, everybody would line up, and these weren't here.
Yes.
And you would just get in the boats here and take off down.
And now those boats are gone, so there's no point to this dock.
Nope.
Like,
except for seating.
Yeah, there's just chairs.
And this is where we meet for game days usually.
Yeah.
Like,
we have the meetup over here because there's not much else going on.
Yep.
But anyway, so... did you ever go on those boats?
Nope.
Do you remember that?
Never.
I do remember going on those.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. I do miss that. The little things that just kind of go around. I do miss those. But, yeah, that used to be here. Fantasyland used to have its own Autopia, too. There was a second Autopia.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Which I thought was funny. I think the one in Fantasyland was called Midget Autopia.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Do they still have... They have a statue of one of the old cars, I think, still there? I remember they had, like, a little homage to what the cars used to look like. Because now they look all modern and everything.
Yeah, I think they do. I don't know if they got rid of that or not.
I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe they did get rid of it.
Maybe. But anyway, regardless, that used to be here. And is no longer. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Now, Matterhorn is back there, right behind us. Kind of see it a little bit. I haven't been on that in a million years. I'm not a big coaster guy, but I was just saying I want to go on that again soon.
It's a classic. It was the first like steel tube coaster ever.
Yeah, ever, right?
Yeah. And so it was built in the 50s, like late 50s? I think 59.
58, 59, something like that.
And it was old. And you can feel it still. Like
really?
They've renovated it, but they've definitely improved on the layouts and technology for smooth roller coasters because it's kind of rickety.
Yeah,
not rickety, rough.
Yeah, that's all I remember is I was going they've renovated it in ways that the seating is different.
Yep.
Because I remember when I went on it, you had to sometimes you would sit in laps.
Yeah, it was like lap sitting. It was like one big seat, and you would sit in it by yourself or with somebody in front of you, and that would bring up some weird situations if you didn't know if you're going to sit with somebody or not.
Yeah, I remember Derek specifically saying he was afraid to go on that when he went with like his junior high class or something. He was like, I don't want to sit with this dude in my lap because something might happen. I'm not going to say what it was, but because we have an audience right now. But I guess as a seventh grader, that's like
that's a fear.
Your big fear.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's good. They just renovated it.
Yeah.
With new animatronics and everything like that.
Yeah, because it's got the Yeti or whatever inside, or whatever, the abominable snowman, whatever.
And they had a couple new cool touches that are projection stuff. That's cool.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah, that's cool. I really wanted to check that out. But regardless of never really going on it that much, I've always loved what it adds to the land. I love the sound of it.
Mountain.
Yeah, I love the sound of it. You even now you can kind of hear the howling of the wind through it and the waterfalls. It adds so much energy to the.
It used to be a tower, like a steel. You know how you see power lines?
Yeah.
It used to be one of those just in the middle of the park, and they built that basically.
I think a mountain is better.
Yeah, it looks a little better.
Now, Fantasyland used to. Oh yeah, go for it. Fantasyland used to have a. All good. No worries. Fantasyland used to, we were not being asked if you could smoke.
No.
For the record.
Cheers.
Wait, did we talk about that on here? That they're eliminating smoking?
Have they done it yet? Because I saw a smoking area today, and I'm I think they're waiting because the one last bastion of smoking area I still saw there. Unless people are still just doing it, and they're not allowed to.
I don't know.
But it seems like it's still there.
They are definitely eliminating smoking areas completely. I don't remember if we talked about that or not. Anyway, so the Matterhorn. Yeah, I love what it brings to the area. What I was going to say was Fantasyland used to have the sky buckets.
Yeah.
Which would, whatever, they would carry you on a line, like a bucket through the sky, over everything. And that I loved as a kid. I really liked it.
That was awesome as a kid. I loved it.
Now, what's funny about that, I was just talking about this the other day, that what I think is kind of interesting, there's certain things that are hard to see from a different perspective sometimes. Mm-hmm. And something that the Matterhorn had back in the day was there were two big holes through the Matterhorn, through the middle of the mountain that the sky buckets would travel through. And I remember I follow some old Imagineers on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like there were old designers at the park, and I think they've since retired.
Yeah.
But they all talk about in terms of design, that's the one thing I don't like, or the one thing that didn't work for me, in Disneyland is you have this awesome mountain, but then you have these big holes in the middle of it for the sky buckets to go through. Like, you went through all this work to have this awesome looking mountain, but you
put big holes
in it. Why'd you do that? And these guys could not understand it. Like, they were just like, I think that kind of cheapens the mountain a little bit. And I bring up having a different perspective because when I was a kid and I would go on the sky buckets, that was the most magic part of it, was traveling through that mountain. That was I looked forward to that. Like,
you
God.
get to see the Yeti and the Abominable Snowman from the sky bucket.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a little miniature dark ride in the middle of this this sky bucket.
Flying the bucket through that mountain was magic.
Yeah.
It was just
it was really cool. And if you timed it right, you could see people on the coaster going by.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah.
So I honestly think Walt knew that. Walt could see stuff from a kid's perspective like that. Mm. And so I think, these designers, they couldn't see it as anything but bad design, whereas as a kid, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to see it from a different perspective sometimes. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else about the Matterhorn?
There's two sides to the Matterhorn. There's two different tracks, and there's one that's the Fantasyland side and one that's the Tomorrowland side. And typically, everybody says, I believe the Tomorrowland side is crazier.
Oh, okay.
And the Fantasyland side is calmer and not as bad.
Okay. So, do you have a preference?
I like them both. Even the Tomorrowland side isn't that crazy. Yeah. There's no drops in the ride. I don't think they knew how to do drops in 59. They just basically did a lot of turns around the mountain down to the back to the bottom. But I like them both a lot.
Yeah, I haven't been on that in a million years. I gotta go back. Oh, we got another duck.
We got a duck situation.
Duck onslaught. Anyway, what else are we missing from Fantasyland? We talked about Matterhorn.
The Chicken of the Sea restaurant.
Oh, was
in there? Was where I think Dumbo is now. I think is where Chicken of the Sea was.
Yeah. Again, they moved everything around.
Yeah, they shifted everything because when you walked under the castle, into Fantasyland, it was just teacups right there.
Yeah.
And they moved that all the way in front of Alice in Wonderland, and they moved up they moved the carousel and everything. So
yeah, they kind of shuffled everything around.
Yeah.
They used to have this Chicken of the Sea restaurant. It was on a pirate ship in a lagoon, like Skull Rock.
Yeah.
Lagoon.
Fountains and stuff coming out of Skull Rock.
That's the only thing. I think Fantasyland is actually over... some things come, some things go over the decades. Fantasyland, to me, I think is better than it ever was.
Yeah.
Because they just keep adding cool stuff to it. That's the one thing we lost. Is that restaurant in the lagoon on the boat?
And
whatever.
even Tony Baxter said he tried to save the boat, like the ship, and he said it was done for. It was like rotting away.
Yeah.
It was like they tried to save it, but it was too hard.
There's a lot of pieces to it saved.
Yeah.
Like I hear if you're on the Peter Pan ride,
I've heard that.
There's a lamp there's like a hook, like Captain Hook's hook, coming holding up a lantern.
Yeah.
And like that's a fixture from that restaurant.
Yep, I've heard that
there's
too.
There's tons of stuff on the Peter Pan ride from that restaurant.
Yeah.
Like I think there's part of the boat inside it.
I've heard rumors. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard rumors that but there's a big part of the ship inside the thing.
I thought Tony Baxter said that. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the one thing that we lost. Now we didn't talk about Storybook. The Storybook, what do you call it? Storybook Land?
I think Storybook Land.
The Storybook Land boats, whatever. That's one that I don't go on often.
No.
Probably better for little kids.
That's one I go on more often now than when I was little. Like, I think I go on. I'm like, I'll go on that and check it out. When I was a kid, I didn't go on.
Yeah, I never did either. No. I would go on Casey Jr. personally, but I never went on the Storybook.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, there's a kitschy charm to it that I like.
Yep.
So, I remember I don't think I'd ever been on it. And again, this was, I don't know how many years ago, not that many years ago. And me, you, and Brian were here late at night.
It was like right near closing.
And it was like almost midnight, and that ride was still going. Now, you never know that late. They might close it down.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it was you, me, and Brian, and we were like, hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's go on that.
Yeah.
Like, before it closes, it's right here. Let's do it. And so we went on, and no one else went on it. And so it was us, it was you, me, and Brian, and this old woman running the ride. And she was like, oh, good, we're all adults here. All right. And then she pulled the boat out, and she just started giving us behind the scenes.
Yeah,
it was
like, all this stuff.
She's like, that house over there, that's a replacement, but the other one's an original.
Yeah.
Those flowers over there, Walt specifically asked for those because he saw them at some World's Fair, and he liked them. That over there, like, she gave us a bunch of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. She didn't do any of her dedicated spiel at all.
Yeah, which was awesome, but we never got that again.
Yeah, so we tried again. Like, we went again months later at midnight. Like, ooh, it's gonna happen again. And we went on, and it was just us. And the girl running the ride was just like, "Here's Aladdin's castle. We're gonna acrobat for a whole new world." She just like went through the motions.
Yeah.
So I still reminisce about that.
Yeah.
She called herself Grandma. I miss you, Grandma. Anyway.
I think she's worked here for a while. I
think so too.
Yeah, I think she had something about that.
But anyway, yeah, I never used to go on that either. But I always wanted to because I wanted to go in Monstro's mouth, the whale's mouth.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
We didn't talk about the theater that's over here, right?
No,
that's the Fantasyland Theater.
Yeah, the Fantasyland
which I've
Theater.
Never, even when I was a kid. Then now,
no, I don't like it.
I don't
care about it at all.
There's nothing over there that bulldoze it, bull ride. Like,
yeah, there's rumors that they're going to.
Yeah, it's so much land, and there's never been a draw there in that theater ever.
Nah, don't care.
Yeah. Right now, it's what Mickey's Magical Map or something.
Yes. Yeah, Mickey's Magical Map. I haven't seen that.
No, I've seen it. It's okay. It's not that great.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Before Pinocchio was a Fantasyland theater there.
Oh, really?
And they would play like movies and stuff in there. I think they would be running them all day. Like they'd be running Mary Poppins all day. You could just pop in and enjoy,
check it out.
Enjoy the AC.
Yeah.
And check it out. But that's it.
We haven't talked about the walkthrough of the castle.
No, of course. We should have said that from the get-go.
Nah, no worries. It's actually closed right now.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but it was an awesome walkthrough that just went through the story of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Now, see, that was a thing when I was a kid. I found out, you could go in the castle, so I had to do it.
Yeah.
Now, my memory of it as a kid was that it was full of creepy dolls. Like, all the little vignettes were creepy dolls, like. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is kind of scary. And it wasn't until like 2009 that Tony Baxter came out and said, "Hey,
we're redoing it.
The walkthrough didn't used to be like this.
Yeah.
It used to be all this cool artwork. A lot of it's still in there.
Yeah.
We need to restore that and put it back the way it was."
Yeah.
And so they did, and it's beautiful. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that when I was a kid. I thought what I had seen was the original.
It's some garbage thing they put in.
Yeah, they did in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, the 80s were weird, man.
They were.
But anyway, yeah, so they redid it, and I love that walkthrough. I think that is so cute. Like, I think it's so great.
Yeah. It's a good place to charge your phone as well, because there's outlets, and every once in a while you'll see somebody just sitting in
the middle of the walkthrough, just like
in the dark,
charging their phone. And it's like, there's people trying to walk through, bro.
Yeah.
But it's so classically Disneyland to me. I love it.
And I remember it was closed even before the 80s. It was closed for a while. Like, there was some period where it wasn't open whatsoever. Like, they were like, there needs to be a walkthrough through here or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another thing to look out for is, if you go through that walkthrough, there are vignettes in it. There is not a lot of room inside the castle.
No.
So there's vignettes using a lot of tricks like mirrors and other stuff to make it look like
perspective and all that stuff. It's really cool. It's really well done.
To make it look like these spaces are way bigger. And they're not.
Yeah.
There's one illusion, or a couple actually, that used to be in it that aren't anymore. There's one chamber in the center of the castle where the way it is now, you kind of look down and you see the queen down there. What that chamber used to be was that you'd yell stuff and it would play back. It would like, you'd go like, hello, and then it would echo back, hello, 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 hello. Like it was an extreme echo.
Yeah.
And how they did that was they would actually record your voice and play it back with an effect on it. So you'd say, hello, 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 hello. You know, you would actually do it. And they had to get rid of it because people were saying bad words. Classic bad words.
Yeah.
And then it would get repeated really loud for everybody.
Yeah.
So
they ruined it.
Yeah, they ruined it. So. There was also an effect when you would look in the door. Like there's a bunch of creepy doors that you could like look in the keyhole, and they're still not like that.
Yeah.
But there was one where you would look into it, and it had a reflection of your eye on a bunch of pieces of glass. So when you put your eye in there, it looked like a million blinking eyes looking right back at you. Yeah. And I'm surprised they didn't do that again.
Yeah.
Now it's like something that pops up or something, but that's it. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, me too.
And then another thing they got rid of right away was at the very end of the walkthrough, you'd be walking out to the exit, and on the way to the exit, there's a clap of thunder, and you would see the shadow of the queen come around the corner, as if she's like waiting for you around the corner, like she's waiting to get you.
Yeah.
And in the 50s, or whenever it opened, late 50s, I guess it scared people. Like kids were scared, like, oh no, she's around the corner, she's around the corner. And it created such a bad bottleneck at the exit. No one wanted to walk around. That they were like, look, we got to get rid of that. So they did.
Yeah.
And only in 2009 or whatever, they added it back. And they did a great job. It looks
cool.
great. I love that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really well done. And again, that was Tony Baxter, I think, doing all that, right?
Yeah, he was a whole restoration.
Yeah, he did all the restoration of Fantasyland, too.
Yeah,
did all
absolutely.
that brand new stuff. Because it used to look like a carnival, like a medieval carnival. And now it looks like the old like streets of like...
It looks like European village, Which, Walt... You know, lest you think it was against Walt's wishes or it's not whatever. Walt Disney was not happy with how Fantasyland looked.
Yeah.
Like, he thought it was cheap. He thought it was like, they didn't really have the time or resources to commit to it. So making it a European village is like, it's an extension of the castle, kind of. And that's the way, I think it was kind of meant to be.
Yeah.
I love our Fantasyland. I think we have the best.
Oh, for sure.
Personally. The one in Paris is kind of cool. But otherwise, I don't really care for it in Florida, to be totally honest. I never really did.
No.
I think ours is better. I think we have the best Fantasyland.
I think we do too.
Sorry, haters. Anything else where I'm thinking of?
I'm trying to think. There's the wishing well.
Yeah, there's a wishing well next to the castle. Now, it's a Snow White wishing well. So every now and then, you'll hear the song. There's there's a little lagoon by the well.
Yeah.
And there's a statue of Snow White, and every now and then you'll hear the statue sing, "I'm wishing," and then inside the bottom of the well,
coming
you'll hear,
actually from the well.
Yeah, you'll hear, "I'm wishing
Yeah.
for the one I love, for the one I love." So it's kind of like she's singing, and the well is reflecting it back or whatever. Loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That blew my mind, and I wanted to throw money in it, you know.
Yeah.
Now that well is a very romantic area of the park. So a lot of times you'll see couples there, you know, hanging out or sharing a smooch. I don't know what else to say.
Stealing smooches.
Stealing a smooch. However, just as often, if not more, I see couples breaking up there.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna go to that spot to like rekindle something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've seen couples breaking up there so often. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The running, I mean, it's not even a running joke. So often when I go, I'll see couples looking upset and they're going, "Well, what do you want?" "I don't know. What do you want?" "Well, I want what you want." "I don't want that." "What do you want?"
I don't know.
And it's like, man, take it to your car. Like,
Yeah.
but I've seen that so often. It's also a place, I don't know if you've ever seen this happen. I think I did once. There are stealth weddings there every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
Because to rent Disneyland is impossibly expensive.
No.
But every now and then I see someone like whip out, not every now and then, I think I saw it one time, but I've heard about it now and then, that someone will whip out vows, like
yeah,
okay,
they basically do it with the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Right there, just, okay, open the book, say it,
Yeah.
and I do it, like...
Yeah, I have seen that happen one time. It blew my mind.
It's a legal marriage, and it's cheaper than renting out.
Than asking.
Yeah.
You know, and if I was Disney security and I saw that, I wouldn't do anything.
No,
I'd be like, you know what?
Whatever.
Let them do it.
Yeah.
You know, good for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've always liked that area, that little grotto area with Snow White.
Yeah, it's off to the side. And you can go through
statues.
like a side entrance to Fantasyland.
Yeah, I've
through
always
the
liked
castle.
that. I've
It's
always
really cool.
liked that.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else?
They kind of made that extension, like, there's kind of an new extension to Fantasyland, and it's that, I forgot what it's called, but it used to be the theater and right to the left of the castle. I can't remember what it was called or what it is called now, but it...
Theater?
Yeah, remember they used to do that dance, that like, they used to date night at Disneyland there and all this stuff?
In front of the castle.
Yeah, in front of the
left.
castle.
It was Carnation Plaza.
Yeah.
And now it's what? Fantasy Fair?
I think, but it's now the same theme as everything else, and that's really new, though. But
yeah. It definitely matches the castle more.
Yeah.
I did like it before then. I did like the old...
Ducks.
Ducks, man. I did like the old Carnation Plaza stage. That was very classic Disneyland to me.
Yeah, it's been there forever.
However, I will say, they would, on weekend nights, they would have swing dancing in there, and you would see like old people swing dancing and all kinds of stuff. And so everyone was bummed out when they redid it to be more medieval. It was like, oh, that's it for the swing dancing. Yeah. To their credit, they kept it.
They still do it.
The swing dancing is...
I'll go by sometimes and see people swing dancing.
Saturday nights, there's couples swing dancing, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
They are doing the same functions there as they used to, but I did like the old stage.
I did too.
I did like that. But they did the new renovation pretty good. It looks like it matches the castle. It's all very Renaissance, very kind of old European whatever. And they added a little animatronic of Figaro.
That's cool.
And he's up on the roof like sleeping and stuff. They did a good job.
They moved all the. There used to be the frozen meet and greets in Fantasyland. It was next to Pinocchio. And it was overcrowded and everything, so they actually built a specific place in there to move that all to.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was like all the princesses too, as well.
Yeah, they cycled those out.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people my age that have like waited to. I've never done that. Take pictures with the princesses.
No.
I have no interest in that.
Yeah, I don't either.
We know some people online I'm not going to name anybody, but that like go out of their way. No one we know personally.
No, but that's like their favorite
there's
thing
some
to do.
online people that are like, I must find every princess and get a picture with all of them. And it's like, and you can see the hesitation and the look of some of the like Anna and Elsa looking like. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, thank you on my end. Did you ever care that much about meeting characters?
No,
I never did.
Even as a kid.
As a kid, I wanted to see Mickey, like when I first started going.
Yeah.
And then I did, and it was like, this sucks. I wasn't into it.
I don't think I have any photos of me with characters as a kid.
Like, I have one, and it was when I met Mickey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could see the hesitation.
Yeah.
You could see me going like, I just didn't. Yeah. I wasn't interested. You know?
He's huge. He could beat up Dad.
Yeah. He could.
You remember
like
that commercial?
To see that. No.
When they're all packing up to go to Disney World, and the kid's explaining like to his younger brother, like, "Oh yeah, Goofy's huge. He could beat up Dad."
They said that in a commercial?
Yep.
I don't remember that at all.
He said something like that.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I don't know how that one got past me.
It was like a 90s commercial.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything else in Fantasyland? I can't think of anything else.
Only thing I think of is the restaurant. The one restaurant, then that was Rose Tavern, but like...
Yeah, Village House.
Village House, that's what it's called.
There is one restaurant. That's it.
Yeah.
One restaurant
and the
in
food
Fantasyland.
Always sucked. But then they renovated it a few years ago and did a new kitchen, and the food is better, and then they did the Rose Tavern thing, and it's even better.
Well, let me say this.
Yeah.
These ducks are making me nervous, okay? We're officially at peak duck. They only really had burgers.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. But I loved eating there. When I was younger, that was my favorite place to eat.
Really?
Yeah, and even in my 20s, I liked it. I always... Okay, hello. I always loved the design of that restaurant. Like, it kind of feeling like it's inside a Fantasyland ride, almost.
Yeah.
I loved eating there. So sometimes I would just eat a crappy burger just so I could be in there. But a lot of times I would get food somewhere else and just bring it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they renovated it and got better stuff. So like it wasn't just a burger now. They got
new kitchen.
They got like a pastrami burger and a flatbread. They have better food. But yeah, they did a temporary Beauty and the Beast overlay to it because it was Pinocchio themed.
Yeah.
They did a temporary Beauty and the Beast thing, and now it's permanent.
Yeah,
it's like not really any. Yeah. It's definitely staying there. Which they're doing that too. I don't know if you saw. What? It looks like the pizza port or whatever in Tomorrowland.
It's turning into permanent.
It's just going to be permanently alien pizza port. It looks like they're putting that sign up, like a better version of it. Which, yeah, it kind of sucks.
I don't need Toy Story in my Tomorrowland.
No, me neither. I just don't care about that.
No.
I didn't think it benefited anything. I wish they would just make that a ride again. It used to be Mission to Mars and Journey to the Moon and all that stuff. But anyway, that's besides
the point. Now it's just garbage pizza.
Yeah, it's not good. Maybe they'll have a better menu when it opens. But not getting my fingers crossed. Anyway, is that pretty much it?
I think that's it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. We've gone the whole gamut.
Yeah. I think that's about it. Fantasyland.
Yeah, I like Fantasyland.
Fantasyland, I think it's not my favorite of all the lands, but it is the most classically Disneyland land.
Yeah, it's connected to the castle. Like you walk through the castle to get to it. All this stuff.
Yeah, so it'll always have that special. It's got the heart. It's where the heart of Disneyland truly rests. I think that's it. Unless there's any other stories you could think of.
No, I can't think of anything really.
I did see one time when I was in Fantasyland with my family maybe 5 years ago. I saw the guy who played Ernst in Lost.
Oh, yeah.
He was a teacher in Lost who, spoiler, in the first season he got blown up. He teaches them... Yeah. He teaches them how to hold nitroglycerin and then he blows himself up. How to handle dynamite. I saw him in Fantasyland once, and I stopped him and said, like, "Hey, I just saw you in Lost. Good to see you, man." Because no one else is bothering him. I thought, well, if I say something for a second, hopefully it won't bother him too much. I was like, "How's it going?" And he was like, "Oh, hey, good to see you." And I was like, "I just saw you. You know, you were so great in Lost. Thank you very much." You know, and I asked for his picture, and my dad was there and was so impressed by how nice he was. He was like, "Dan, you're the nicest guy. Thank you for like being so kind." And he's like, "Oh, you think I'm nice?" And my dad was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You just said you think I'm a nice guy?" And my dad was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Good. Please remember that and hold on to that because I was cast in Law and Order, and next week I abduct children in the new Law and Order that's airing next week. So please keep that in mind when that airs." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, it's not a good role." But anyway, I was like, "Okay, fair enough."
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was funny. I think that's it.
I can't think of anything else.
Other celebrity thing.
Oh yeah.
I was at Small World when the Kardashians were going on the ride, and they had their own private security who threatened to beat me up because I pulled my phone out to take a picture. And so at first it scared me, like, I don't want to get beat up, so I put that away. And then I'm thinking, like, you're gonna beat me up in the middle of Disneyland? You think Disney wants that story? You know. Yeah, go nuts. So I started taking pictures. I was just like, yeah, hey, thrill me. So I got some photos. I don't know if I have them anywhere, but they're somewhere. I think I put them on Twitter at some point.
I've never seen this.
Whatever. Anyway, that's it. I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching another Creepy Old Crypt. We'll be back very shortly with another episode. In a new location. And now I'm going to end on ducks.
You able to find one?
Where are they now? There were a million ducks here a minute ago.
Down there.
他们在购物，他们在那个反正就是那个电灯哦。